This is Two Guys Talking About with Kevin Kolbe and Bill Jordan.
Welcome to Two Guys Talking About. I'm Kevin.
I'm Bill.
And this is our weekly video podcast series, in case you're joining us for the first time, where we talk about a lot of different topics. And if you've wondered, or wondering, whatever that would be, what would it be? Are you wondering?
Let me wonder about that.
Maybe some of the things we've talked about. If you go to YouTube or even Facebook group, you can see a lot of the past topics and stuff like that. But we pick a topic, we talk about it, and we'd love to hear your thought backs.
Take two.
We love to hear your comments and your thoughts too. Remember, we are professionals. Try this at home.
Yeah, you'll do better.
But hey, one of the things coming up this Sunday is Memorial Day. And we thought it would be...
It's on Monday.
What did I say?
Sunday. Start the whole thing over.
One of the things coming up this Monday is Memorial Day. So I would just like to say, one of the things I've said since the beginning is that if you learned anything, we would apologize. And you're going to find out very carefully that the reason I'm not a journalist.
I think we know.
Every time I speak, it becomes more apparent.
I think we got it. We're getting a clue.
Monday,
yes,
is Memorial Day, and we just thought it would be very, very appropriate to just talk about Memorial Day and just share some thoughts about that. It is the official start of summer.
Yeah.
And the thing that gets me, like a lot of our holidays, it becomes sometimes, I think, more about the sales than the purpose. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Commented many times before, if George Washington, the father of our country, had known that he would be known for saving us 15% on a shirt. I think sometimes we confuse, and it's all the retail, and in our society, a lot of things are about making the money. Memorial Day sales, Memorial Day to me is a day of observance. It is not a thank a veteran day. Memorial Day is honoring those who have fallen in service to our country. That's what Memorial Day is.
Now, this is something we were talking about earlier, because I understand Memorial Day and Veterans Day, but I think I was probably in that camp where I would bring Veterans Day into Memorial Day, and it's like it's not. It's two completely different things.
Yeah, and veterans will tell you that too. I mean, you thank a veteran, you may thank a veteran every day. Right. If you see a veteran, sure. Veterans Day is when we honor those who have served and are serving. Memorial Day, by its very name, we remember those who have fallen while in service to our country. So to me, happy Memorial Day. I mean, I get it that people are off work and you're doing the cookouts and all that stuff. But it's for me and my family, it's more of an observance, and there is a poignancy to it, if that's the right word. There's a reverence to Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. Certainly, I mean, we're having a good time too, but we always try to remember why we are able to enjoy the life that we live now, and it's because of the sacrifice of those who have gone before and have laid down their lives and paid the ultimate sacrifice. My dad, who was a Silver Star recipient, combat veteran in World War II, would have been the first to tell you that the real heroes are the ones who didn't come home. Yeah. Almost every combat veteran I've ever talked to, and I've talked to a lot of them, their heroes are their buddies who didn't make it home.
And in talking to some veterans that have been through that, it's really hard sometimes, I think, for them to convey what that's like. I wasn't in the service. I have a tremendous amount of respect for anybody who serves or served. But then when you take it to the level of literally giving up their lives, I mean, look, here's the thing, and this may be the more serious one we've ever done, and that's okay. But, it's not lost on me that we're getting to do this because people sacrifice to give us the freedom to just have a video podcast or express opinions or something like that. And, and I know sometimes our country takes knocks and stuff like that. So this is not a political thing, but this is about honoring the vets who laid down their lives, that actually we get to a point where we can honor them and observe Memorial Day.
That's it. That's it. Kevin and I were talking before we started rolling on this about Arlington National Cemetery, which I went to as a kid. But my wife and I went there a few years ago, and I was like, okay, I got to see the changing of the guards, right? At the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, known but to God. And if you watch it closely, first of all, if you're in D.C. and make the time, I know there's a lot of things to see and do in Washington, D.C., obviously. Make the time to go to Arlington National Cemetery. And should you do that, make the time to see the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. 21 gun salute, you will not hear there, as far as at the changing of the guard. 21 gun salute is the ultimate honor for a veteran. And there's all kinds of lineage to that, and it seems to be a little confused as to where the 21 gun thing came from originally. But nevertheless, 21 gun salute is the highest honor. If you watch the changing of the guard as they come out and they change and they get to the end of their walk, they stop and they stop 21 seconds.
Really?
They turn and stay 21 seconds. They take 21 steps back to the next spot. They turn again 21, and I've timed them.
Wow.
It is unbelievable that they are that precise in their steps, and their steps are at a 90 steps per minute pace.
Wow.
I mean, I've watched this and timed it and watched where the sentry's step will end this time when he's come this way, and then he goes back and he hits that mark every time. The precision, which is a form of honor, is amazing. Don't miss that ceremony if you ever have a chance to go see it.
You know what's interesting is I went there as a kid too. Family went there and we toured everything, and I remember vividly going to that. I think though, since I was so young, I didn't appreciate or even know about the steps and things like that. Something actually happened really cool about that. So my daughter Ashlyn, who's a teen now, but when she was in 5th grade, they were her school was gonna take a field trip to D.C. and they had an essay writing contest. And you didn't have to do it, but if you wrote an essay and they picked you, you would be one of the few that would get to actually take part in the ceremony.
Wow.
So I actually have, probably to her embarrassment, her essay, which is it's the coolest thing. This is what she wrote. I might even post it because it's in her handwriting. But this is what she said. I think that I should be picked to lay a wreath on one of the unknown soldiers because I care very much about how all of our people are treated. Some of the people that went to war to help us. That means so much to me. Also because these people helped us, so don't you think we should help them? And one more. Even though we didn't know who they are, that doesn't mean we should not treat them like they treated us. I know my reasons are not big, but a human is a human, no matter how small. She wrote that in 5th grade.
That's excellent.
And obviously, as a dad, I'm proud. But what's really cool is they picked her, and we actually have the video, and I may actually put the video in the link or share it. But it's a really cool. And I didn't go on the trip. My wife got to go, but just that she took part of that, just in 5th grade, had that feeling of how important that was. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean that really is, and she'll always remember it. Now you'll always remember it. Then if you post it, it'll be on the interwebs forever.
There we go. Another thing too about if you go to DC, and I think this would fit in with Memorial Day is the Vietnam Wall.
Oh yeah.
Am I saying that word?
Sure. Vietnam Memorial.
Oh.
But the Korean War Memorial is there. The World War II Memorial is there.
Yeah.
I find the Korean War Memorial the most haunting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen any of these and you've experienced that and you want to leave a comment and let us know kind of how it landed on you. But you're right, because Ashlyn, my daughter, and I went to DC I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, and we saw that. And I don't know if you've seen it, but just the way that they've constructed it and the way that the statues are there, it's haunting. That's the first thing I thought of when you were saying
exactly. It really is.
And then to watch, going back to the Vietnam Memorial Wall, watching people just looking for their names. I mean, first of all, the countless names, and then just taking the paper and scratching and weeping and seeing that. It's just, it is a great reminder, even if you don't know any of those people, of the sacrifices made for us.
Right. And at the World War II Memorial, there's a wall of stars. And each star, I think, represents 100 soldiers, Marines, airmen, sailors who were killed during the war. So you got to do the math here for me. There was 400,000 casualties, 400,000 people we lost during World War II alone. That's also a powerful. Man. And to go back, I got to go back with veterans, World War II veterans, to D.C. I went on 3 of these flights of honor that we take veterans.
Oh, that's cool. That is very neat.
Took them to their World War II memorial, which was far too late coming. And seeing these guys just melt, man, it was so powerful. Would you like for me to read this letter?
Yes, yeah. So this is something that Bill had brought up that I think it was used in Saving Private Ryan.
Yes.
Right.
Well, if you saw the movie Saving Private Ryan, you know that one of the commanding officers there, as they're looking for Private Ryan, the thing that got me about this scene was he starts reading this letter from Abraham Lincoln to a mom of 5 sons who were killed in battle in the Civil War. The thing that got me about that scene was, I think maybe in the movie the guy was a general, and he starts reading it, and then he puts the letter down and he just recites it from memory. I'm not able to do that, but this will put, I think, in perspective what Memorial Day is all about. And the letter was dated Executive Mansion, Washington, November 21st, 1864. Dear Madam, I have been shown in the files of the War Department a statement of the Adjutant General of Massachusetts that you are the mother of 5 sons who have died gloriously on the field of battle. I feel how weak and fruitless must any word of mine be should attempt to beguile you from the grief of a loss so overwhelming. But I cannot refrain from tendering to you the consolation that may be found in the thanks of the Republic they died to save. I pray that our Heavenly Father may assuage the anguish of your bereavement and leave you only the cherished memory of the loved and lost, and the solemn pride that must be yours to have laid so costly a sacrifice upon the altar of freedom. Yours very sincerely and respectfully, Abraham Lincoln. So, as the line goes, I guess that we didn't know all, but we owe all.
So one of the things we always love to do is hear your comments about what you like and what you don't like, ideas for the shows. But this one we want to do a little special, a little differently. We want to ask you if you've got a loved one or know of somebody that sacrificed for our freedom, feel free in our comments on Facebook or YouTube or the website to mention their name if you've got a photo of a family member. But we really want to turn the comments to this one over to you so you can honor anyone you know that gave up their life to give us this freedom.
Absolutely.
So if you want to leave a comment about that, we would love to read it, and feel free to use the comments to honor the loved ones. And we appreciate you watching.
Yeah, and we do hope that you enjoy your Memorial Day time off. Just take maybe more than a few minutes to remember why you're able to.
This has been Two Guys Talking About with Kevin Kolbe and Bill Jordan. If you have an idea or comment, or you're interested in sponsoring the show, connect and find out more at twoguystalkingabout.com. Two Guys Talking About is produced by Kolbe Creative Media.